So here's another what I eat in a week as a vegan. I would say that I eat pretty healthy, but at the end of the day, I just eat what makes me feel good and what I feel like eating. So here's a bunch of simple, good vegan food, and I hope that you can get some inspiration from this. So let's get right into it. Monday morning! This has been one of my favorite things to have for breakfast lately. Natural flavored soy yogurt with blueberries and a bunch of oats. And when you think you've had enough oats, add in more oats. Another one of my obsessions has been green tea lately. I used to really dislike it, but then I just kind of like forced myself to drink it, and now I love it and can't get enough of it. It's so good. I had a lot of green tea this week. Then as a snack, I had this giant kiwi. And for lunch, I made this super fancy looking rice noodle bowl. It's just rice noodles, caramelized onion with peas, cucumber, lime, and sesame seeds. And it looks like that because I took a photo of it. That's the only reason. For dinner, I just had rice with chickpeas, greens, and hummus. Now we're on to Tuesday. I started my day off with some porridge, with apple, cinnamon, and a tiny bit of raw sugar. And then for lunch, I made some stuffed sweet potatoes. The video to this exact recipe will be linked on the screen or in the description. If you want to see the whole thing, check that out. And then for dinner, I went over to my friend's house and her mom made this Turkish bulgur salad called kisir salad. It's so yummy, but I didn't film it or take a photo of it. This is just a picture that I got from Google, but it basically looked like this. So yeah. Wednesday morning, I made myself a green smoothie, and I'm usually not a green smoothie person, just because I made a lot of really bad ones. But this one actually turned out really good. So yeah, that's a green smoothie in a jar. It's always a smoothie in a jar, isn't it? And then for lunch, I made barbecue chickpea filled pitas, which you can also see in the recent video that I talked about. So I will link this down below. I definitely had 2 of those pitas, and they're really tasty, and you should try them. And then this was my dinner: frozen blueberries and oatmeal in bed while watching How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah. The night before, I made these black bean brownies, and yeah, so I had a few pieces of that in the morning. Recipe to these will be linked down below as well. And then I also had some berry muesli. And for lunch, I made some cheesy vegan pasta with spinach. So I just tried to come up with the perfect recipe, and this actually turned out really fine. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know. After that, I was filming the rest for the black bean brownie recipe video, and I had one more of these brownies No, I'm lying, I had definitely more than one. I don't really remember. That's the thing with recipe testing. You can just always eat. It's, anyways. And then for dinner, well, you can't even really call that dinner. I just wasn't feeling that hungry, so I just had some super boring hummus, toast, and yeah, Thursday wasn't that healthy. But here I'm eating some greens, so that counts, I guess. On Friday in the morning, I made some banana and ice cream, and the only ingredient you need to make this ice cream is frozen bananas that you put in a high-speed blender. This is not real ice cream, guys, because some of you asked me. I crumbled some of the leftover brownies on top, plus I added some raspberries. And before that, I went on a really long run, so this was the perfect post-workout meal. It was so good. For lunch, I had some leftover cheesy vegan pasta. And I also added in some cherry tomatoes and topped it off with some arugula. Arugula. That's a weird word. And this was my dinner. For the recent video, I made this basic vegan Buddha bowl. But yeah, I just ate it later, so I put it in a box, and this is what it looks like. Saturday morning, I had an oatmeal with banana and frozen blueberries. For lunch, I made some miso noodle soup, which I show you how to make in another video that I will link down below. This is basically the same recipe minus the mushrooms and the celery, and yeah, it's really good, so check it out if you want to. I also had an apple as a snack. And then for dinner, I had some brown rice with green beans, greens, basil, hummus, and lime. And now it's Sunday, and I had some peach-flavored vegan yogurt with banana, topped everything off with some oats and some chia seeds. I made some jackfruit burritos for lunch, and I've never tried this kind of jackfruit before, only the raw kind, so it was really funny to me. It's kind of freaky that it looks so close to actual meat or tuna. Yeah, it looks more like tuna than meat actually, but it just has the weirdest consistency, and it was really good. But yeah, definitely something to try out for you guys. And then for dinner, I had a vegan classic: rice, beans, greens, and a super yummy tomato sauce. And that's it, guys. That was my entire week. I'm sure there's a few snacks that I didn't show just because I forgot to film them, so I'm sorry about that, but this is basically everything that I ate this past week. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, why not click subscribe? That would be awesome, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!